The Logan Power Show. Welcome, everybody.
The Logan Power Show.
Hey, everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan. Definitely. So, hey, we're having some fun here. My name is Calvin of the Logan Power Show. We nationwide, worldwide. We love y'all. Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan. Well, you know, for me, I'm a father, I'm a husband, and I got with me a dynamic program that I feel that every man that's out there listening needs to get involved or get connected with. I'm telling you, this is the program you want to get connected with. I got with me Miss Betty Robinson and Mr. William Jiggs, the Executive Director of Father to Father. How you folks doing today?
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Good, glad to have you here today. Now, Mr. Jenkins, you're the one who's running the ship. You're the executive director. Tell us about this program, Father to Father. What is this program about?
Well, as the name implies, Father to Father is a fatherhood program. We work with fathers who have kids from previous relationships, but still need to be connected with their dad. And so what we do is help fathers overcome whatever barriers that might be preventing them from being connected with their kids. In South Carolina, about 40% of the families, the father's not there, so children are growing up without a benefit of the fathers in their homes. That's 40% statewide. In our communities, it's more like 60%. And so we all know children do so much better when they have the benefit of a mother and a father in their lives. When you look at statistics like teen pregnancy, gang violence, substance abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse, the rates are so much higher in the homes where the father is not there. That's not to say that in every home where the father is not there, the children don't thrive, but the statistics indicate when a father is not there, girls are more likely to get pregnant, boys are more likely to be involved in gangs or substance abuse. And so, as we all know, children need the benefit of a father and a mother in their lives. And so we have so many fathers that want to be connected with their kids, but they just need a little bit of help. As you know, men don't like to ask for help.
Yes, sir.
And so what we do is we thank you for this opportunity to let the people in the low country know there is help for fathers who want to be connected, but just don't know how to go about getting started.
Gotcha. Well, it's good to have that. Now, Miss Betty Robinson, I know you're part of the help to keep this great foundation floating. What is your position there, and what do you do for that?
I am the newly interventionist specialist in Berkeley County. We just started in Berkeley County recently, and I had the pleasure of being hired as the intervention specialist there. And I also want to let you know that we're also working with mothers as well, as a family as a whole, because there are some mothers that really need to be reconnected to their children as well.
Okay. Well, definitely it's good to see that you all are trying to bring the family back together. Now, for the Father program, from my understanding, you guys help with fathers who are having child support issues?
Well, there are many barriers that keep fathers from being connected with their kids, and the number one barrier is the issue of child support. So many young men are in and out of jail because they can't pay child support, they can't afford to pay child support. And so a lot of people ask the question, well, why don't they pay child support? All they gotta do is get a job and pay their child support. A lot of these guys that come to our program had children at an early age, in their early 20s, middle 20s and 30s, But now they've settled down, they're a little bit older, they've got new families, new relationships, but they still have to support the children from those previous relationships.
Sure.
And so the answer is, well, why don't they pay child support? The number one reason is they can't get a job that pays sufficient money to support their families and meet their child support obligation. So why can't they get a job? Well, a lot of the guys have dropped out of high school in the 9th and 10th grade. They don't have marketable skills, and so it's difficult for them to get a job. A lot of the guys have criminal background records, stuff that they did foolishly when they were younger, and now those records come back to haunt them. A lot of the guys have substance abuse issues. They've either sold drugs or used drugs or both, and so all of that keeps them from getting a decent paying job, which keeps them from being able to support their children. So what we try to do is break that vicious cycle. We have a curriculum that we follow. First, we give the guys parenting skills, how to communicate with your children, how to discipline your children, how to communicate with the teacher, the mother of your children. We also talk about relationships, how to deal with the mother of the children that's angry because you're no longer in their lives, how to relate to the children themselves. And then I think our most important component is what we call economic stability. That's where if a guy comes to us and he doesn't have a job, then we prepare him first before we ever refer him to any company for an interview. We go through what we call a 1-week boot camp. That's where they get all the soft skills they need before they go out. How to look an interviewer in the eyes, how to present yourself, how to dress properly for an interview. And so hopefully, by the time they get through our program, which is a 6-month program, they will be able to get a job, support their families, be able to communicate with their kids and the mother of their kids. And when the children thrive, the whole community benefits from it.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Amen. It's good to have programs like that that looks out for, if I tell anyone, Tom, a young man has a child, if your heart is right, you're going to always want to take care of that child, but you may not have enough to do what you honestly want to do. And, the system is a vicious cycle, like you mentioned, and it's constantly happening on a constant basis. Like, fathers are going in and out like it's a fast food restaurant. Now, intervention specialists, Ms. Robinson, how does that work, being an intervention specialist?
I meet most of the fathers through a program that we have in Berkeley County called the ATI, which is an alternative to incarceration. I go into the jails and I meet with them, I explain the program to them, and in lieu of them going to jail for child support, they come into our 6-month program. And one of the things I've learned while I was working with these fathers, most of them didn't have fathers of their own, so it is a vicious cycle. And so in educating them and empowering them, there is a consistency throughout the father-to-father agency. Is we meet them where they are, but we don't keep them where they are. We uplift them, we encourage, we motivate, we empower through education, through just allowing them to be who they are and understand that you don't have to stay there. And most of them, they want to be good fathers. They want to be in the lives of their children. And as an intervention specialist, I reach out to the community, to the various agencies, and we connect with these agencies and partner with these agencies to make a way for our fathers, whether it is to hire them on jobs, to keep them employed, or to point them in the right direction to get their GEDs, to going back to school, finishing a college degree. And some of them have started that, and they just needed to be pointed in the right direction to finish that.
Hey, that's a good thing. I'm excited. I'm ecstatic. That's what it's about, changing lives. Now, where would you like to see this program next 3 to 5 years? Big picture, where would you like to see it go?
Well, Father to Father currently serves Charleston, Dorchester, and Berkeley County. So we have already begun expansion. We've set up a site in Mopsicona, as Betty alluded to, and we're also moving into Colleton, Beaufort, Hampton, Jasper. We're going to cover the whole lower end of South Carolina, and so we are happy to have this opportunity to spread the word that there is help. If someone in the audience has a son or a grandson, or perhaps a neighbor, or a co-worker, and that father is struggling, he's trying to pay child support while supporting a family. A lot of fathers pay child support, but they can't actually see their kids. and so they need visitation. And so there is help. All of our services are absolutely free. All they have to do is give us a call, and we'll take it from there.
Gotcha. All right, how they can get in contact with you? We need to contact you at what number?
Well, our office number is 843-744-2126. They can visit us on the web at www.fathertofatherproject.org, and they can see what we're all about. But just give us a call, and we'll be glad to help.
Well, it's a pleasure again having y'all here on the show.
Thank you so much for
And
having us.
again, for everyone who's watching, we're at the Logan Power Show. We're going to support them. You know, we're going to try to throw out any commercial spots, anything that we can help them boost what they're doing. You know, I mean, I'm a father. I don't want to see any father who's working hard that wants to do better miss out on an opportunity. So that's why I'm a partner with them all. You know, I mean, I'm a big buff. If there's a game-changing mom or dad that just falls short, nothing wrong with getting help and getting picked back up. So if you know anybody, get in contact with them, flood their doors, give them a call. These are the people you want to get in contact with. But, you know, hey, that's the time I got. Make a change for someone today. Contact Father to Father Project. I mean, get in contact with them. Like I said, again, we had the wonderful Mr. William Jenkins, Mrs. Betty Robinson, hey, from Father to Father. We look forward to coming back again so we can get a whole bunch of fathers in our studio audience who can get signed up or maybe going through that time. If you need that kind of help, reach out to us. Hey, we love y'all. My name is Calvin Logan, the Logan Power Show. We love y'all. We appreciate you. We'll see you on next week. Hey everybody, welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's that time again. I'm telling you, we're knocking all the pathways from the Now Network to LJR TV Network. I'm telling you, nationwide, worldwide. Well, I got with me, she got so many titles, it's ridiculous, okay? She is one of the renowned game changers. Last time when we piggybacked from her, she's going to mention where she left off at, discussing her ministry, her school, etc. The one and only Elder Trimeka Johnson. How you doing?
Oh, God bless you, Brother Calvin. I'm well.
Definitely.
Thank you.
You've been busy.
I have been. Yeah, probably because you spoke that Hussein Bolt over me when I was here the last time.
Oh, yes, definitely. So tell us, last time we left off, you were going to discuss about your ministry, what you're doing that way with school, and now the program that you're on with now.
Absolutely. So part of my local fellowship, New Jerusalem Church, the Triumphant Church, we are having an expungement clinic on April the 9th. Saturday, April the 9th, and it just fits so perfectly with some of the things we've talked about today, the needs in our community, and the church is the core of the community, Brother Calvin. So this expungement clinic is the real deal. Attorney David Ayler and his staff are going to come out, and they are going to equip the people with knowledge and the tools to get records expunged for misdemeanors and felonies pardoned, things they need to know to remove barriers to employment. So the ministry is sponsoring that, and I'm thrilled about it. Absolutely. And then with school, I'm still there at the Citadel plugging away.
Okay.
Plugging away. And my transcript had that I was supposed to be finished by May of this year. Let's fast forward that to maybe December.
Okay.
Maybe May of next year, because I've learned the goal is to finish. It's not necessarily to finish fast, it's to finish strong.
Gotcha.
So we're still plugging away and we're working at the magistrate. We're building relationship. The Lord still has those doors open for us. Mm-hmm. So we're walking in that and taking care of that. So that is on track.
Gotcha.
Okay, when we were here. And then I think one of the things that happened when I was here last, you mentioned about the singing. Well, I got a phone call from a gentleman that has a radio station in Columbia. And so he aired our segment on his radio and also Power 21, which is syndicated. Mm-hmm. And viewers could hear it or listeners could hear it out in Baltimore. So how exciting was that?
Oh, yes.
So thank you for that door of opportunity.
Oh, you know me, I'm always looking forward to getting people out there to catapult themselves. And for me, I'm excited that you're about to be a judge.
Oh God, I'm so thrilled. Yeah.
So for me, it's always good to say they always say favor is not fair, but it's always good to have favor to understand when justice needs to be served. You can say, okay, Lord, when I pray, I know elders in the building
Yes.
that's going to help those that see it a little differently. You know, I've always said this: you got to have somebody. Yeah, the righteous has got to be in place,
Amen.
so that when someone does come. Now, I'm not saying that she's going to be this kind of person that say, you know, person done all this craziness and you getting like 2 days in prison, nothing like that. But it's going to be something where she's going to be judge you righteously, but it may give you another chance and not judge you by your outer appearance.
For sure.
'Cause I think that's a lot of times we're getting is that some people when they get to that particular stage,
Yeah.
they just forgot. You know, I forgot what it was like. I think
Absolutely.
I think I was in a courtroom and you know, dealing with my family, and the judge was asking one of my family members, like, you know, why is it you don't want to do it? So, you know, Your Honor, I'll lose my job. And then and you know, the judge, like, you know, they'd be on my record. She said, like, half these lawyers in here got records. What's the big thing? And she not understanding that that may be for the lawyer, but it's not gonna say for a person that wants to get a
For the
government
coming
job
in,
or a big time corporate job. People are gonna be like, they look up on your record and they'll be like, I ain't giving you that job at all.
Absolutely.
So it's a beautiful thing. April 9th, ladies and gentlemen, David A. LaLunn, expungement. I mean, that is something you got to know how to get to. Expunging your record, know if you got a felony charge, how to get that wiped out, second chances. So I applaud you.
Yeah, and just so that people know, it's going to be held at our church, at New Jerusalem, the Triumphant Church in Dorchester Manor, at 108 Dorchester Manor Boulevard. And I'll tell you what, brother, even just because you spoke to it, I believe a lot of times the judiciary has some imbalance. And it's not just about the incarceration model or incapacitation. It's about rehabilitation, and we tend to forget that in our country. So I do believe the Lord has opened that door for me to be an advocate, you know, because we do have to rule wisely, but I believe that a lot of advocacy is missing. So thank God for senators and doors that God is opening in politics to pave the way for people to be appointed as magistrates, because your senators make those choices. They make those choices as to who are magistrates in certain districts.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's what I say, it's always good and important to vote. So let's get back to this great program, Employment to Education.
Yes.
E2E. Tell us about this.
Man, I am stoked about that opportunity. So the city of North Charleston received a $1.6 million grant back in the summer of last year.
Okay.
And Mayor Keith Summy cut the ribbon on one of our employment work centers
Right.
back in early fall. So we have 2 work centers to cater to the needs of North Charleston residents, from anything as it relates to GEDs, diplomas, post-secondary education, career cluster training. Felons are welcomed. I mean, it's just a wonderful, we pay you to get your GED. We give you incentives along the way. I mean, we've got men and young women up to the age of 29. These are young adults, and many of them have families. So even as you had father to father here, it's wonderful. It's all connected. The community is connected. And I believe the church is the hub of it all. But you've got these young adults. We've got people that have started work experiences where we pay them to go out and work and beefing up their resume. We've got young men and women that have started EMT training programs. They're riding along with the paramedics on 12-hour shifts. And there are so many career clusters, Brother Calvin. They can walk in, and the only thing they've got to do, if they've already got a diploma, bring a copy of it, bring your ID, just so we can know you live in North Charleston. Doesn't even have to be the city. It can be the unincorporated part of North Charleston. You know, that little weird part up in Somerville and that part close to downtown. Just come in, bring a copy of your license and your social security card, and we do like a little general tape test just to see where you are. And everybody gets their work keys, everybody, because it makes you more marketable, okay? If you don't have your GED, adult ed partners are there at the work center, and they work with you on your GED to get you that GED. I'm there doing vocational instructing, soft skills, interviewing skills, financial literacy. I mean, time management, ethics are the things that I teach. And beyond that, we've got, again, the career coaches that help path you for what training program you want to start. IT, we have partnerships with PST Training, where they certify these young men and women from off the street for A+ certification, security, networking. You know how much of a demand it is for those types of credentials and skills. They go through an intense program, 6 weeks, and we have people offering them employment. One of our girls has been offered a position through Key Logistics over at Boeing, and she's just waiting on a badge.
Wow.
These are the kinds of things, and before that, they were in their neighborhoods on what we call the Macon, or out on Remount Road, or any North Charleston neighborhood you want to, take your pick, considered at risk. But they made the choice to come in, and some wonderful doors of opportunity have been opened for them.
This is what I love about the Logan Power Show. We're giving real solutions, real
Yes.
stuff to people that really need that opportunity.
Yep.
I think a lot of times when I think about when I'm looking upon this flyer here, for me, I've always tell people all the time, it's not who you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not what you know, it's
Yeah.
who you know
Yeah.
in this stage of the game. And I don't want to be the kind of person that I want to be naive and saying, well, hey, get an education, it's going to come about. Nah, it's a lie.
It's a
Okay,
lie.
you can have an education from Harvard, but if you're not a certain person, you're not that kind of individual, that's when you have to, tell God, it's favor that God will
Yes.
give you. But I truly believe that if you want help,
Yes.
this is the program you want to get into. I don't just play games. This is the thing I said, this is the first time me knowing about it. So I said, oh man, got to get on the show. And you want to know this person now, I guarantee the next 5 years from now, shit in the magistrate court, and you're going through something, you're going to remember, you said, man, I knew that lady from somewhere. Where is she from? Oh, that's Elder. That's Elder Johnson. And it could be a situation where Elder could have a position that she may need somebody to be a court reporter. Or she may need someone to, hey, get to the next level. Because, for her, she's not set for, I would say, just this area. She's set for Supreme Court level. No one's ever told her this, but I know she's Supreme Court level because we need change on that level. When she gets to that level, she's going to say, I remember that was said, Supreme Court justice, because what's going to happen is when she's in that seat, she's going to tell somebody, I remember I used to talk bad about some of these people. Well, hold on, wait a second. Have you heard of this program here? Do you really get out to the community? You lost touch, Judge. I understand we a colleague, but baby, you lost some touch. You understand that people going through, just because they made something wrong, doesn't mean that you're gonna shut the whole life out. Or if a person's going through college, you know what, hey, you may do this 6 months, and no life is going to hit you. But there's a program I did back a couple years ago. I know they're still there. Tell them, Judge Johnson told you to come by and get your life together. Now, I guarantee if a person heard a judge say that, they're going to get their life together, because the judge will say, I'm going to force you to get into this program. And that's why I believe you're in this seat, is because your life is going to change, and you're going to give people an opportunity to tell them, say, you need to get in this right seat of mind. That, I've always said this, why don't they ever have a judge say, if you know a kid's going through hell and high water, send them off to boot camp. Send them to the military. Send them to tell straight there. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I mean, tell me what's wrong. Just because they dying right now, but why they die something they believe in.
And I gotta tell you this, because you speak things sometimes that I don't know if you even know. the magnitude of what you speak. I'll say two things. When you use the example just now of me in the future maybe needing some help in my office, do you know that is how the seed was planted for me to even start this path? My former boss, my former director of DSS in Dorchester County, resigned to go be a magistrate in Dorchester County, and she's still there. She called me back some years later, well after we had stopped working together, because she needed a clerk there at the magistrate court. Well, she asked me, well, what are you doing now? And I said, well, I'm managing cases at Medicaid. And she said, well, I don't want you to go backward. So you stay where you are and you manage those cases. And if anything ever happens with that, you give me a call. Well, because you know the state budget, how the state budget is, eventually that job, the funding ended for it. So I called her, and that's when she started talking to me about coming on the bench. So she actually planted the seed, and then my pastor, we had a luncheon for her mom's birthday, and there was a judge in the building, and magistrates are kind of administrative judges. He's a big boy judge, and he was there, and he was the 4th Black graduate from the Citadel, the Honorable Judge Robert N. Jenkins, now retired. And my pastor introduced me to that judge. He invited me to come sit with him on the bench, and he had me to come down to Broad Street and sit elbow to elbow with him, not down where the court reporters sit, but literally elbow to elbow while he heard cases all day. Then he invited me to his retirement dinner up in Greenville. Went there and met somebody I used to work with at the Social Security office who says, what are you doing now? I said, oh, I'm living in Charleston. And they said, oh, one of my friends is a judge there, Judge Danny Martin. Tell him I sent you. Went to see Judge Martin, sat with him. So the Lord opened the door the same way you just spoke it. And even as you said to me, oh, I believe there's greater than the magistrate. My pastor, Apostle Prelo, has always said there's even more for you. Me, like you, I'm just happy, like, Lord, me? Magistrate, me? You know, so to me, that's whoa. But the Lord sees so much more in us oftentimes than we do in ourselves. So I had to acknowledge that, because you speak things, and sometimes I don't know if you realize the magnitude of what you speak.
Okay. I sometimes, you know, when the Lord just gives me just the nuggets of people, you know, because to be honest with you, how I met Elder Johnson was LinkedIn. She had posted some stuff about herself, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, come on, TV show. You know, she's like, oh man, I thought this thing never worked. Now it worked. LinkedIn worked. So, you know, for me, I laugh now, but now I'm just getting set up.
Yes.
It's all a setup.
Set up.
It's a setup because, you know, there's going to be a time. It's going to be a time. I guarantee it. There's going to be a time, I tell you, when this corporation takes off, this Logan Power Show,
yes,
and there's going to be some people that I know, if I had a shot of my doubt, there's some people that are going to go through something. And I know some people that are going to be saying, man, I'm facing some time, Cal. I don't know what to do. And I said, who is your judge? They're going to say, Judge Trimeka Johnson. And I say, you know what you're going to do? You're going to talk to that judge. You're going to tell her, ma'am, I'm ready to change my life around. A man's been working with me for years. And she's going to say, who is that man? She said, Calvin Logan. And she's going to say, you know what, I'm going to give you the second chance. I'm going to give you this much to get your probation. I'm going to give you this much probation time to get your act together. Because you've been given another chance. Now, I'm not going to tell you how I know Mr. Logan from. But because he said and put his name out there, he must believe that you deserve another chance. And that's how it's going to be, ladies and gentlemen. I truly believe that this is set for you don't never know what to do. But tell people how to get in contact with this employment to education program, how to get in contact with you, because I know that we are excited.
Absolutely. So we have two centers. We have two centers. Our first one, again, that Mayor Summey cut the ribbon on, is there at Reynolds Avenue. It's 1914 Reynolds Avenue. Okay, so there's a website, and it is employment2education.org. And if you go there, it's going to take you directly to the City of North Charleston's website and give you the rundown about the program. So the phone number to the remount or to the Reynolds Avenue office is 843-202-0909. The phone number to the remount office, which is 1370 Remount Road, Suite C, that number is 203 oh gosh, $23.96. 203-2396 or $28.96.
Okay.
So either way, if you go to the website, employmenttoeducation.org, it'll give you all the details, and I've left some flyers here at Brother Calvin, so you can contact him and he'll have the information as well.
Amen. Amen. Well, I thank you again.
Thank you.
We're looking to see the next level, because I'm going to be even more funny. You know what, doggone, I'm going to be funny. You know, Lord, I hear it right now. She wants to be on television. She does.
I do.
But she wants to be like Judge Judy, what she really wants to be. And since I got the TV show, I'm waiting for her to become a full straight magistrate. We're gonna have a new show.
Oh, wow.
That's what we're gonna do. And then when she gets to Supreme Court, she's gonna change the game. Because I truly believe we need people that are game changers, not mouth talkers.
Yes.
And, you know, hey, I'm having some fun. I tell you, we're going to talk off air. We're having too much fun right now. I tell you, the Logan Power Show, boy, I tell you, the Holy Spirit be moving. I be laughing. But that's all the time I got. My name is Calvin Logan, the Logan Power Show, nationwide, worldwide. We love y'all, and we'll see you on next week.
Good. What's up, boy? Ain't nothing, man. Just working on this new track. Coming from choir rehearsal. I thought you were supposed to be coming to choir rehearsal, man. Last night was crazy, Kev. Come on, man. I apologize for that, man. How was it? Hard, man. It was awesome working on this new track, man. Fully committed, bro. It's gonna be hard, man. I need you to be in that, yo. Man, I ain't where I need to be right now, bro. Come on, man. Man, I can't do it right now, man. You ain't where you used to be, though. We can be fully committed to this thing, man. I feel you, man, but I'm out here, man. I'm out here. Cause I'm fully committed. I'm fully committed. Cause I'm fully committed. You wonder why you don't see me no more. Hanging out on late nights in the clubs and the liquor stores. Talking to this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl. Knowing that this girl, that girl, this girl, that girl is of this world. Lord, I don't wanna be a lukewarm saint. I don't wanna be something I know I ain't. Create in me a clean heart, and everything that's not like you set apart. And I'll do whatever you want me to do, cause I know that you're gonna see me through. And I'll be just what you want me to be. And if that's committed, then Lord, I'll be fully. You wonder why I don't ever worry about a thing. I'm fully committed, I'm fully committed. And I told the Lord, nothing in the world gon' ever make me stray. I'm fully committed, I'm fully committed. You wonder why you don't see me out in these clubs no more. Cause I'm fully committed, I'm fully committed. Because the Lord changed my life and I wanna go no more. Cause I'm fully committed. I'm fiending for Jesus so they can just say I'm an addict. Addicted to Bibles, that scripture, I just got to have it. If I don't get a taste of the word every day, then I might have a withdrawal. Feeling my soul shiver and shake every time I hear your name called. And the last time I read that word, I almost had to shed a tear. And Jesus, that book should get you author of the year. I believe that, and you told me a change and I see that. Thank you, Jesus, for the feedback. Now give me my Bible, let me kick back. Cause it's time for me to read scriptures. They be picking me up, they're my lifters. When I'm down and broke, they're my fixers. They be gearing me up, they're my shifters, my misters. I'm fully committed and now I serve a life sentence. Ain't talking about prison, but I'm talking about eternal living. You wonder why I don't ever worry about a thing. I'm fully committed.
Jam Vibes Radio, the jazzful connection for all the people, playing your favorite music and talk 24